Good morning, everybody, and welcome to DMS 3000 News Live, episode number 12 for Thursday, June 29th, 2023. I am Brandon Martin, and the things we're going to be talking about for this episode are the do's and don'ts of filmmaking, and hopefully we'll get through with this from Thursday and yesterday with this time the 25 fantastic summer jobs to consider, and I'll be at the 6 o'clock hour or the 9 o'clock hour in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, and then we'll wrap up with 12 new summer books to add your 2023 reading list. We'll be wrapping it up at the 6:30 hour or the 9:30 hour in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Plus headlines, sports, and what day is today. And that will be what we'll be covering on this show. And with that, let's go to the headlines for Thursday, June 29th, 2023. And we already saw Trey Krumel, even though David isn't here right now, but I will be taking over from this. But with that, let's go ahead and do this. Scientists say they've found evidence of a very long gravitational wave that could open a window onto supermassive black holes, and perhaps even other extreme unseen objects in the universe. Canadian wildfire smoke and heat make for unhealthy U.S. air. Protests erupt in France after police kill a teen boy during a traffic stop. A new physics discovery could help us understand black holes. The Uruguayan American musician reflects on identity, autonomy, and how the pandemic changed his artistic process. Would be Juan Waters. Deaths and injuries from guns in the U.S. have increased for years, mirroring the 1990s, the last time gun violence was considered an epidemic. The killing of a 17-year-old boy captured on video shocked the country and stirred up long simmering tensions between young people and police in disadvantaged neighborhoods around France. The survey conducted by the nonprofit social research group Social Weather Stations shows a rise in supportive views of gays and lesbians in the socially conservative country in the past decade. Excuse me. New research calls into question prescribing the drugs even for short-term pain relief, especially given the risk of addiction, which is opioids and all that. In Atlanta, dozens of activists who oppose a new police and fire training facility are being accused of domestic terrorism that has alarmed civil liberties and human rights groups. Western tribes are making a last-ditch effort to thwart a large lithium mine in a federal appeals court. The 64-year-old singer's latest tour celebration was supposed to kick off in mid-July. As a result of the illness, which put her in a hospital ICU, Madonna has postponed her international tour. After reporters noticed marks on the president's face yesterday morning, the White House disclosed that the president started using a CPAP machine a few weeks ago. Nassim Haddad has seen his share of disaster and loss. At 79, he says of his philosophy, I started again from the beginning. I started from zero. I am not afraid from anything. Biles has competed since the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. When she withdrew and spurred a global conversation on the pressures faced by athletes, Lee stepped into the spotlight and won all-around gold. Surveillance videos showed the Maryland arsonist gushing gasoline at homes before lighting fires that were sometimes explosive. One entry on his target list read simplified white privilege that he is sentenced to life plus 75 years. At least $1.1 billion was actually paid out in these schemes targeting elderly patients, high risk and low income pregnant women, and HIV patients. Chicago saw its air quality plummet, while other cities, including Detroit, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh, were experiencing unhealthy air quality levels. Film crews thought the gown worn by Carrie Fisher's character had been destroyed after production wrapped, and they were expected to fetch $2 million at auction when unsold. Warner Brothers Discovery recently announced a shakeup at the network, which for years has offered a well-curated film selection. Critic David Biancoli says TCM wasn't broken and didn't need fixing. As we roll into the dog days of summer, these three YA novels move beyond being beastly as the protagonists transform into the creatures that lie within. Smoke from Canadian wildfires is smothering U.S. cities like Detroit, Chicago, and Pittsburgh. Air quality warnings are in effect across the Midwest as officials warn of hazardous conditions. The South faces record-breaking heat. Over $200 billion in pandemic businesses loans appear to be fraudulent. The Supreme Court rejects the controversial independent state legislators' theory. And that will be the headlines for Thursday, June 29th, 2023. And now we get to the MLB as Domingo Germán delivers MLB's first perfect game since 2012 as he joins Cone in 1999, Wells in 1998, and Larson in 1956, with fourth in franchise history. Domingo Germán was not alone when he took the mound at the Coliseum on last night. His beloved uncle, who passed away 2 days prior, was there with him in spirit. It had been an emotional couple of days for Germán and his family, but the support he received from his teammates helped carry him through. There was no doubt about making the start, Germán said in Spanish via interpreter Marlon Abreu. We had really good communication going back and forth with my family. Yeah, definitely not an easy week. At the same time, I felt like staying here with the team doing my job. With his late uncle with him every step of the way, Germán tossed Major League Baseball's first perfect game since 2012 in the Yankees' 11-0 win over the A's. It was the fourth perfect game in franchise history and the first since David Cone's dominant performance against the Expos on July 18th, 1999. All right. Let's look at the 13 things you need to know about Erman's perfect game. Entering yesterday, it had been 3,969 days since a perfect game had been thrown in the major leagues. In the time, there were 31 individual no-hitters and 9 combined efforts, underscoring just how rare the perfect game is in baseball. Then at 9:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at the Oakland Coliseum, Yankees right-hander Domingo Germán completed the 24th perfect game in AL/NL history. Germán struck out 9 athletic batters and threw 99 pitches to complete the feat in the Yankees eliminator, as mentioned. 13 things about one of the most unlikely no-hitters in MLB history. Historic night for a historic franchise. First perfect game since 2012, where there were a single season record 3, culminating in Felix Hernandez on August 15th. That's the longest drought between perfect games since the span from Catfish Hunters on May 8th, 1968 for Oakland to Len Barker's for Cleveland on May 15th, 1981. It was Yankees' 4th perfect game, breaking a tie at 3 with the White Sox for the most of any team. Germán's perfect game was the 3rd in the history for Oakland Coliseum, tying that venue with the old Yankee Stadium. The other 2 perfectos that took place at the Coliseum were thrown by Catfish Hunter and Dallas Braden, May 9th, 2010 versus the Rays. Was on the call for the A's telecast during Germán's perfect game. Somewhat lost in Germán's performance was the route the Yankees put on in support. 11 runs scored behind him are the most in any perfect game, topping the Giants' 10-0 victory and Matt Cain's. The only Yankees no-hitter with a larger margin of victory was the team's 13-0 win in Monty Pearson's August 27th, 1938. Inside number 24. Final All-Star update before Phase 2 ends at noon. So far, the updated first base for American League, Yandy Diaz of the Rays, 53%. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 47% of the Blue Jays. Second base, Marcus Semien of the Rangers, 65%. Whit Merrifield of the Blue Jays, 35%. Third base, Josh Jung of the Rangers, 58%. Matt Chapman of the Blue Jays at 42%. Shortstop Corey Seager of the Rangers, 60%. And Bo Bichette at 40% of the Blue Jays. Now the outfield. Mike Trout of the Angels at 23%. And we have Randy Arozarena of the Rays, 22%. Aaron Judge of the Yankees at 19%. Jordan Alvarez of the Astros at 15%. Adolis Garcia of Rangers, 12%. Kevin Kiermaier of the Blue Jays, 10%. Really close between Trout and Arozarena. Catcher Jonah Heim of the Rangers, 52%. And Adley Rutschman at 48% of the Orioles. For National League, Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers at 61%. Matt Olson of the Braves at 39%. Second base, Luis Arraez, Marlins, 54%. Ozzie Albies of the Braves at 46%. Third base, Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals, 58%. Austin Riley of the Braves at 42%. Shortstop, Orlando Arcia of the Braves, 69%. Francisco Lindor of the Mets at 31%. Outfield, Mookie Betts of the Dodgers, 34%. Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks, 30%. Michael Harris II of the Braves, 19%. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. of the D-backs, 16%. For catcher, Sean Murphy of the Braves, 56%. And Will Smith for the Dodgers, 44%. Designated hitter, J.D. Martinez of the Dodgers at 53%. And Bryce Harper of the Phillies, 47%. A look at all 24 perfect games in AL/NL history. We know Domingo Germán of the Yankees, which is from last night. Felix Hernandez against the Rays back in August 15th, 2012. Matt Cain of the Giants, June 13th, 2012, against the Astros. Philip Humber, April 21st, 2012, with the White Sox against the Mariners. Roy Halladay of the Phillies, May 29th, 2010, against the Marlins. Dallas Braden of the A's, May 9th, 2010, against the Rays. Mark Burley of the White Sox, July 23rd, 2009, against the Rays. Randy Johnson of the Diamondbacks, May 18th, 2004, against the Braves. David Cone, as mentioned, Yankees, July 18th, 1999, against the Montreal Expos. David Wells of the Yankees, May 17th, 1998, against the Twins. Kenny Rogers of the Rangers, July 28th, 1994, against the Angels. Dennis Martinez of the Expos, July 28th, 1991, against the Dodgers. Tom Browning of the Reds, September 16th, 1988, against the Dodgers. Mike Witt, September 30th, 1984, against the Rangers. That would be the Angels, to be more specific. Len Barker of the Indians. Oh, we can't say that because it's now the Guardians. Even though before that name change was a thing. May 15th, 1981, against the Blue Jays. Catfish Hunter of the A's, May 8th, 1968, against the Twins. Sandy Koufax of the Dodgers, September 9th, 1965, against the Cubs. Jim Bunning of the Phillies, June 21st, 1964, against the Mets. Don Larson of the Yankees, October 8th, 1956, against the Dodgers. That'll be in the World Series. Charlie Robertson, White Sox, April 30th, 1922, against the Tigers. Addie Joss, Cleveland Naps, which is October 2nd, 1908, against the White Sox. Cy Young, Boston American, May 5th, 1904, against the A's. John Ward, Providence Grays, June 17th, 1880, against the Buffalo Bisons. And then we wrap up with Lee Richmond, Worcester, Ruby Legs. Yeah, I mean, this is June 12th, 1880, against the Cleveland Blues. And we'll look at right now the 12 most unlikely no-hitters. We already know Germán was in, as mentioned. Tyler Gilbert of D-backs August 14th, 2021 against the Padres. Chris Heston of the Giants, June 9th, 2015 against the Mets. We already mentioned Phil Humber. Bud Smith of the Cardinals, September 3rd, 2001 against the Padres. Jose Jimenez of the Cardinals, June 25th, 1999 against the Diamondbacks. Juan Nieves of the Brewers, April 15th, 1987 against the Orioles. Joe Cowley, White Sox, September 19th, 1986 against the Angels. Mike Warren of the A's, September 29th, 1983 against the White Sox. Bobo Holman, St. Louis Browns, May 6, 1953 against the Philadelphia A's. Charlie Robertson of the White Sox, April 30th, 1922 against the Tigers. Then Iron Davis of the Boston Braves, September 9th, 1914 against the Phillies. And the trade deadline inbox, what will teams on the Cups do? And Arez, 400 pursuit, sees where he stands at midway point. We look at that right now. Luis Arez, at right now, as we speak, right now, at 396. And Yelich quickly bouncing back into all-star form. Dunning flirts with a Maddox and stellar outing against the Tigers. Latest starting pitcher power rankings and ASG preview. And Red notched 29th from the come-behind victory win series against the O's. And we'll go ahead and just go to the scores right here, right now. And we'll wrap up the sports. Let's look at the scores right now. Excuse me. Taking a little time, but okay. There we go. All right. We have the Braves beating the Twins 3-0. The Nationals beating the Mariners 4-1. The Reds beating the Orioles in the final 10, 11-7. The Pirates beating the Padres 7-1. The Blue Jays beating the Giants 6-1. The Marlins beating the Red Sox 6-2. Mets beating Brewers beating the Mets. That'll be nice for the other way around, but not the case. 5-2 the final. Brewers winning it over the Mets. The Astros beating the Cardinals 10-7. The Rangers beating the Tigers 10-2. Phillies beating the Cubs 8-5. The Guardians take that whooping from the Royals 14-1. Rockies beating the Dodgers 9-8. The White Sox beating the Angels 11-5. The Rays beating the Diamondbacks 3-2. And as mentioned, the Yankees beating the Athletics 11-0. And that will be MLB scores, as we'll go ahead and take our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the do's and don'ts of filmmaking, and we'll have that right after this.
At the river mouth, the bears catch only the tastiest, most tender salmon, which is exactly what we at John West want. John West endured the worst to bring you the best.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
Ship my pants? Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding.
You can ship your pants right here.
You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed.
If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the Information Purification Directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Our unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people. One will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Mr. Cow.
Yes?
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I don't know. I always end up biting. Ask Mr. Fox, for he's much cleverer than I.
Mr. Fox, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Why don't you ask Mr. Turtle, for he's been around a lot longer than I. Me, I bite.
Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Owl, for he is the wisest of us all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
Mr. Green? Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help? I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
Yeah, sure.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good. Makes me feel nice.
Be around.
That's the way it should be. I like to see
Hey, kid.
the whole world is smiling with me. Coca-Cola as life. Have a Coke and
Thanks, Mean Joe.
smile.
So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist.
They do exist. Santa?
The do's and don'ts of filmmaking. We all know filmmaking is about more than just holding a camera in front of people, reciting their memorized lines. You need to think everything from the visual narrative to the audio atmosphere to the technical aspects. You control every element, so you need to get them all correct. Whether you've been filming for ages or you're just making the switch from skills to video, it's important to recognize the unique qualities and characteristics of the moving medium. All right. The first one of the do's is make a plan. Good preparation is the key. Planning ahead will help you stay focused while you are shooting all your scenes. Make a shot list and stick to it. This is the visual script for your film and reminds you exactly what you need. Use a tripod. Nothing is worse than shaky video. So unless you're deliberating shooting handheld, in which case make sure to use one of the best gimbals. Ensure that your camera is securely fixed on a tripod. Film in the right light. Choose locations that offer plenty of light. Shoot in the early morning or late evening to get a softer light. If the light isn't right, come back when it is. Or bring a photography lighting kit and add supplemental light. Record clear audio. Sound is an essential part of your video story. So make sure to invest in an audio recorder and make sure to get the best microphone possible. Check the recording levels while filming. It should be neither too high nor too low. And finally, the do's, use a variety of angles. Don't stay static. Add a bit of variety to your shoots. Cover key scenes from a range of different angles to offer the viewer some interesting insight and to give yourself options in the cutting stage. And now here are the don'ts. The first don'ts is overshoot. Never lose focus on your content. Concentrate on sticking to your storyboards and shot lists rather than spontaneously recording extra scenes that you didn't plan for. Stretch run. Avoid creating a long introduction, otherwise viewers are likely to lose attention and are less likely to watch the entire video. Explain everything. Avoid making it too easy or too obvious for your audience. Instead of getting the actors to explain everything, let their action speak louder than words. Show rather than tell. Lose focus. This applies to you, but specifically your camera. Traditionally, film crews have a focus puller whose sole job is to maintain focus, whether you're relying on manual focus or trusting your camera's autofocus. Always be very aware when changing perspectives or moving the rig. And finally, zoom in. Don't be tempted to zoom into the scene during key moments, unless it's a very deliberate stylistic choice. It looks unnatural and attracts unfavorable attention. Whether you're a part-time amateur or a full-time professional, digital photographer aims to challenge and motivate you to take your best shots. Our in-depth features are designed to take your photography to the next level, and this is a great gift for anyone who wants more inspiration for their picture taking. Yeah, and that's basically the do's and don'ts of filmmaking. And while we do have some time on our hands, let's go ahead and go to the what day is today of the national holidays that are happening now in June. So let's go ahead and take a look right now for June 29th. All right, for June 29th, though, 23 holidays listed. And this first one is Hug Holiday. A simple way to express many different types of affection, from friendly to imitate to familial. National Work from Home Day. We celebrate technology that allows any office job can be done at home in our pajamas. Central Province Day. To the residents of the Central Province, we wish you a happy second appointed day anniversary. Eid Korban. To all the Muslim brothers and sisters around the world, a happy Eid Korban. Very interesting handful of trying to pronounce that, but if I get it wrong, just let me know in advance. But that's all right. Here we go. Internal Autonomy Day. Join the celebrations and learn the history of these French Polynesian islands in the South Central Pacific. International Day of the Tropics. Today, let's enjoy the beauty of the tropics and appreciate everything they have to offer. International Fisherman Day. Get ready to read some amazing and thrilling facts about fishermen around the world. International Mud Day. Get your old clothes ready to dive in some mud and celebrate International Mud Day. Interesting. All right. National Almond Butter Crunch Day. Get to know more about almond butter crunch and the fun you can have it with it. National Bacon Burnt End Day. Everyone loves crispy bacon, but today we're focusing on bacon burnt ends. National Bomb Pop Day. Summer is here in full force, so to help combat the heat, we present this treat. National Camera Day, as we mentioned about filmmaking. Focus on how cameras have made telling our stories easier than ever. National Disability Day. Join us as we celebrate Bill Kirchen, the titan of the Telecaster, on National Disability Day. National Fred Day. Join us in celebrating all the Freds of the world in this National Fred Day. National Gordon Day. Let's celebrate National Gordon Day to honor and appreciate every Gordon we know. National Guide Day. Join us as we remember all the special guys out there this National Guide Day. National Handshake Day. Join us as we take a closer look at the handshake, unwrapping the different meanings behind it. National Nash Day. Come and join us as we celebrate the Nashes of the nation this National Nash Day. National Waffle Iron Day. Explore this day to learn exciting new recipes for making waffles with a modern twist. St. Peter and St. Paul Day. Let's prepare to honor the martyrdom of St. Peter and St. Paul. St. Peter and St. Paul Day in Chile. It's St. Peter and St. Paul Day. Learn more about these two revered Catholic saints. Seychelles Independence Day. Seychelles Independence Day is a commemoration of this nation reclaiming its freedom. St. Peter's Day, the final one, for June 29th. Get ready to partake in the special masses and festivities to mark St. Peter's Day. Basically, we'll go some of the things that's the meaning behind National Hug Day. Excuse me. Basically, hugging is a simple way to express many different types of affection, from friendly to intimidate to familiar. It's an action largely limited to primates, while we can find instances of other animals and positions that resemble hugging. There aren't any other species that do it so frequently and for so many reasons and in many ways. Hugging sets us apart from the rest of the animal kingdom. It's not just a differentiation. Through studies showed that hugging releases oxytocin, known as the cuddle hormone, which can help to strengthen social bonds. So on June 29th, we celebrate Hug Holiday, so get your hug on today. There's hug holiday activities. Start a free hug campaign. Then you can hug a friend and schedule a hug. And they would say why we love Hug Day. They bring us closer. They help fend off illnesses, and they're free. National Work from Home Day. On the last Thursday in June, we celebrate National Work from Home Day. This year, it is June 29th, a chance to recognize the technological and cultural evolutions that allows us as a work culture to be as productive anywhere in the world as we are in the office. For years, working at home had been the purview of certain types of jobs or saved as a bonus to reward employees, while the rest of us battle with the daily commute. Now, however, the tools exist so that nearly any office job can be done at home without a loss of productivity. Today, we celebrate those achievements and do so in our pajamas. If you wanted to make sure your work from home setup is on point, then check out our guide to the best laptop stands. National Work from Home Day timeline. 1,500 centralized workspaces to start form. And then we move to the 1800s. Industrial Revolution puts work from home on hiatus. Video conferencing becomes widespread. Then the 2010s. We all know that March of 2020, COVID creates new paradigm. National Work from Home Day activities. No shirt, no shoes, no problem. My, that couch looks comfy. Make a gourmet homemade lunch. 5 ways to make the most out of working from home. Have a routine. Maintain relationships with your coworkers. Boundaries make good workers. Make accommodations for your kids. And make your breaks meaningful. And while we love National Work from Home Day, it feels almost like a staycation. Video calls can be fun. The relative freedom. Okay. Central Province Day, also known as the second appointed day in the Central Province, is observed on June 29th every year. The Central Province is one of the 9 provinces that make up the Solomon Islands. It spans the Russell Islands, Florida Islands, and Savo Islands, covering 237 square miles. According to the 2010 census, this area has a population of more than 26,000 people. People in this area celebrate Central Province Day, which is a day off for the general public. More businesses, schools, and government offices are closed during this holiday. Excuse me. Let's learn more about the significance of this special day in the Solomon Islands. The British Solomon Islands Protectorate's initials 12 administrative districts were Josel, Eastern Solomons, Gizo, Guadalcanal, and we have Savo, Renell, and Bologna Islands, Santa Cruz, and Shortlands, among others. Really interesting. And then independent, the timeline, look at that, 1978, independent state of Solomon Islands, sovereign nation capital, 1981, holiday establishment, separation of Hanaria, how to observe Central Province Day, enjoy celebratory processions, share this holiday's significance, and visit the Solomon Islands. 5 facts about the Solomon Islands. It was named after King Solomon. The world's largest elevated coral. The Solomon Island dollar. Christianity is a popular religion. Japanese occupation of Tulagi. Why Central Province Day is important? It has a long and illustrious history. It is diverse. It has a beautiful setting. Let's look at that. Here we go. National Bacon Burnt Ends Day is celebrated on June 29th of every year. Almost everything has a designated day, from eyeglasses to nail polish to waffle irons and bacon burnt ends. Excuse me. Residents of Fort Worth desire their national holiday, and they were also successful. I can't even talk today, guys. That's all good, though, nonetheless. The Heims owns 2 successful restaurants in Fort Worth. Starting in 2013, they created a loyal following with a food truck and pop-up meals in friends' backyards. The Heims first served bacon burnt ended on June 29, 2013. The genesis of bacon begins with the pig, which emerged roughly 2 million years ago in Southeast Asia. Around 10,000 BC, early habitats hunted wild bears. By domesticating pigs proved considerably safer. Around 1500 BC, the Chinese were the first to use salt to preserve meat, curing pigs with salt from the area's mines, which happened to be strong in nitrate, was the great bacon breakthrough for farmers in Central Europe. Bacon back then didn't mean preserved pork belly as it does now. Bacon may have originated from pig's back phrases at some point before pork belly. In 1607, Sir Walter Raleigh introduced sows to Jamestown, and in the 1600s, the English imported pigs to their American colonies. National Bacon Burnt Ends Days was established in 2021 by the American Royal Association of Kansas City to showcase Kansas City barbecue and its delectable burnt ends. Organization which was founded in 1899 encourages agricultural learning through competitions, scholarships, education, and agricultural festivals. China was the birthplace of salted pork belly. All pork was referred to as bacon or bacon in Middle English. Before the Industrial Revolution, bacon was traditionally produced on small farms and in homes. In the 1770s, John Harris established the world's first commercial bacon preparation enterprise in Wiltshire. In 1930, the United Kingdom received 91% of all bacon and ham exports, with Danish bacon flavored above British bacon. Excuse me. 1500 meat preservation origin. Bacon is called pork in the 16th century. 1770s, the world's first commercial bacon business, and official Bacon Burnt Ends Days, 2021. National Bacon Burnt Ends Day activity are visit Kansas City, make bacon burnt ends at home, and try out new barbecue sauces. 5 facts about bacon. Billion-dollar industry. Bacon bombs, turning vegans to meat consumption, the name given by Romans, and pounds of bacon consumed. Why we love National Bacon Burnt End Day? It is simple to make. Everything goes well with bacon, and bacon is carb-free. And with that, we'll go ahead and take another commercial break, as it's right now 5:54, 6 minutes, actually over 5.5. As we'll go ahead and talk about the next one, which is the 25 fantastic summer jobs to consider. And we'll have that right after this. Don't go anywhere.
The name Progresso means progress in Italian. But we don't put too much progress in our soup. Where we come from, you don't fool around with a classic soup recipe, which is why our minestrone is still a classic. We still think chicken noodle soup should be more chicken than noodle. That may not be progress, but it's delicious. It's not that Progresso is against progress. It's just that too much progress would spoil the Progresso.
Every 2 seconds, somebody bangs up a car. Making him look like new again keeps 185,000 auto body specialists on the job. At Apex Tech, we have a training program to get you ready for this kind of work in 6 months. The latest unibody frame straightening equipment. We show you how to operate it. Auto glass, welding. You learn by working alongside a professional. Precision grinding and finishing. Finally, painting and pinstriping. Not many jobs give you the satisfaction of seeing your finished product. Now tell me, is there any part of this you think you couldn't learn? Give us a call now, and we'll pick out a time, day or evening, for you to come in to our shops in person, talk about job placement and what kind of financial help from the government you may be entitled to towards your training, and look over the professional tools you get to keep when you finish your training. 924-7373. Give us a call. Our switchboard is open now.
Make your home the showplace of your neighborhood. At last, a beautiful house that's really maintenance-free. Garden State Brick Face is 3 layers of tough, steel-reinforced cement that will seal and insulate your home. Brick face, stucco, or stone face. Our skilled craftsmen will create a beautiful, customized, maintenance-free exterior on your home. Call now for a free estimate.
For a free estimate, call 1-800-228-6600. Call now, or look us up in the yellow pages under Brick.
It happens every day in the tri-state area, rain or shine. Our people get ready and open the doors. We're your neighbors, family, friends. Our kids go to school with your kids. We're not a national chain store. We're your hometown store. And it matters to us how you're treated, because we want you to come back, time after time and year after year. P.C. Richard & Son, family owned and operated for 104 years, and here for you, always.
Beat the heat! Beat the heat with a fan or air conditioner from Crazy Eddie. Get the guaranteed lowest sale prices anywhere on electric fans and air conditioners. It's going to be a long, hot summer, and the prices of electric fans and air conditioners are going to go up, up, up with the temperature. So get an electric fan or air conditioner on sale from Crazy Eddie now. Shop around, get the lowest sale prices you can find, then go to Crazy Eddie and he'll beat them. So be cool and beat the heat. See Crazy Eddie now. His prices are insane.
So then I said, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm flattered that you love chocolate, but I'm here strictly in a professional. What's wrong with him?
He thinks you're naked.
My shell is brown. It just looks like my milk chocolate is showing. Only a fool would think I'd actually show up naked.
So it's that kind of party. Hit it!
I'm sexy and I know it. Aye. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out. Wiggle, 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 yeah.
Hey, Herbert Fisher. Have you met Herb Grant?
Herb Grant, Tacoma.
Herb's in the plumbing business.
Yeah, I'm all backed up.
Herb, you know these bums? Herb Riddick, Herb Kaplan. Hi. So, the wife and kids are good? Herb Jr.'s almost 12. Whoa, next thing you know, there'll be a Herbert Jr. Jr.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
And we're about 2 minutes away to 6 o'clock. Actually, now 1 minute away, as we welcome you back to DMS 3000 News Live, episode number 12, on Thursday, June 29th, 2023. And once again, I'm Brandon Martin, your host for this. And right now, let's look at the 25 best summer jobs to consider. Our first summer job would be camp counselor. Primary duties: camp counselors oversee camp activities, manage conflict resolution between campers, provide educational lessons, and sometimes monitor the campers overnight. Our second summer job is a ride operator. Ride operators work in theme parks, amusement parks, or water parks, and handle the mechanics of the ride, ensure riders follow safety instructions, and report any misconduct or issues with the ride to management. Concessions worker. Oh, yes. I remember that, going back to the days I used to do that back in my high school days when I was doing marketing at the time. Now, currently get to be the PA announcer for me in my case, but either way. No, it's not all about me, but we can still continue on with the summer jobs to consider. As mentioned, concessions worker. Concessions workers often work in sports stadiums or during other major summer events and perform tasks like running the cash register, preparing food, and handling customer issues. Look at this fourth one, car wash attendant. Car wash attendants can work at a mechanical car wash where they ensure the car's safety as it travels through the wash bay or hand wash the interior and exterior of vehicles independently. Housekeeper is the fifth one. Housekeeper's job duties often include regular home maintenance like dusting, sweeping, and removing trash, and occasional work like deep cleaning appliances or baseboards. Some housekeepers also manage household tasks like laundry and grocery shopping. Look at the sixth one, barista. Baristas take customer orders, make coffee and tea-based drinks, and serve customers food and snacks. Number 7, a lifeguard. Lifeguards can work at pools or water parks and must devote their attention to watching the water. They're responsible for the safety of every visitor to the pool. Food service worker is the next summer job to consider. Food service workers perform job duties like taking food orders from customers, preparing dishes or meals, managing customers at the drive-thru, and cleaning the dining area. Parking attendant is the 9th one. Parking attendants often monitor parking lots, collect money from patrons, and report any misconduct to supervisors. Retail sales associate is the number 10. Retail sales associates assist customers, answer questions, keep the products organized, manage the cash register, and handle product returns. Look at number 11, a gardener. Gardeners, also called landscapers, weed gardens, mow lawns, trim bushes and trees, and water or apply pesticides to the lawn and garden as needed. Pet sitter is the next summer job to consider. Pet sitters watch pets for their owners while they're at work or out of town. Duties include walking dogs, feeding pets, and performing basic grooming as needed. Delivery driver. Already in that halfway mark already to summer jobs to consider. Delivery drivers can work for a single business or for what a multi-business app. They pick up products or food, deliver the goods to the buyer, and maintain their vehicles. Intern. Interns can perform a number of duties depending on their industry. Many handle tasks like data entry, administrative work, and phone and email correspondence. Dog walker. Dog walkers take dogs on walks while their owners are at work or unavailable. Duties include safely retrieving, not safety, why did I say that? But that's what I meant. But safely retrieving and returning the dogs, managing them while on the walk, and cleaning up after them as necessary. Computer technician. Some computer technicians work for companies that sell or repair electronics, while others work for themselves. Common responsibilities including diagnosing computer problems, assisting customers with downloads or updates, and performing repairs. Swim instructor. Swim instructors teach people, usually children, how to swim. The importance of water safety and other basic water and swimming rules and guidelines. Tour guide. Tour guides perform duties like leading participants through a guided series of locations, answering questions, and providing history or information about the site. A referee. Referees are usually experts in their sport. They ensure participants play the game fairly by identifying fouls, managing the playing time, and distributing penalties. A babysitter. Babysitters can perform duties like monitoring children while their parents are elsewhere, cooking and serving food, performing basic cleanup, and ensuring the safety of their charges. A nanny. Nannies are often full-time or consistent part-time child care providers. They perform duties like creating activities for the kids, cooking and serving food, performing basic cleanup, and ensuring the safety of the children. Freelance writer. Freelance writers write letters, essays, articles, or other documents for clients. Their responsibilities include researching the topic, writing per the client's instructions, and editing their work. We get down to the nitty-gritty. A tutor. Tutors assist students with their schoolwork. They create lesson plans, explain topics, and guide their students through problem solving. The second to last one is a fitness instructor. Fitness instructors provide workout support and direction to clients either at a gym, in person, or through digital videos. And we wrap up this final one of the fantastic summer jobs to consider. Short-term landlord / property manager. Short-term landlords rent out space in their home or a second property for vacationers or temporarily visitors. Property managers do the same, but often on a larger scale, either for themselves, a client, or a company. And that will be basically it for the 25 fantastic summer jobs to consider throughout the summer, since it already began. Now let's go ahead, since we have a lot of time for that. Now let's go through the weather to see what is happening for the day today. we all know the air quality alerts that is still happening right now. Excuse me. And let's see. Stand by for that. Load up. Thank you. Okay. Air quality report as wildfire smoke blankets Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, Northeast. We look at the air quality current. Minneapolis is unhealthy. Then Green Bay, Milwaukee, Chicago, Iowa City, and then St. Louis, Detroit, Cleveland, Buffalo, Burlington, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, Richmond, Jackson, Nashville, Louisville, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus, as mentioned, Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Charleston. That's basically the current air quality. Oh, yeah, Syracuse, meaning Washington, D.C., to be more specific on that, but. And let's look at today's temperatures for the weather across the country. We look at the east right now, East Coast, from low to mid 70s to the low to mid upper 80s, low to mid upper 90s, as Caribou at 73, Boston 79, chance of some showers, New York at 84, Washington, D.C. at 88, Norfolk at 83, Buffalo at 78, Charlotte 91, Atlanta 94, same with Jacksonville, Tampa at 96, Miami at 89. Midwest, you look at some of them at the upper 70s, mid to upper 80s. Sault Ste. Marie at 76, Detroit at 84. No, Buffalo's at 78 today. Cincinnati at 89. Atlanta at 94. Then upper 70s, part of upper 80s, upper 90s, low 100s. International Falls at 79, excuse me. Minneapolis at 89. Chicago at 87. 99 degrees in St. Louis. Memphis at 98. New Orleans at 100. Then we look at some of the low 80s, upper 70s, low 100s. Minette at 81. Rapid City 77. Kansas City at 100. Same with Oklahoma City. Dallas 101. Lubbock will be a windy one, 100. El Paso at 103. San Antonio 99. Brownsville at 96. Houston 98. Dallas, as mentioned, 101. Texas, stay cool. If you're going out, please use sunscreen, which nobody wants to get sunburnt and all that. So, and we look at a little bit of the West Coast. We have low to mid upper 80s, then up mid 90s, then we also look at what, as mentioned, West Coast, upper 70s, low 80s, upper 90s, upper 80s, upper 60s, and upper 70s. And then we see low hundreds, upper hundreds. We look at Cut Bank at 84, Billings at 81, Boise 82, Denver at 78, Albuquerque 93 degrees, Salt Lake City 83, Salt Lake low up 101 in Las Vegas, Phoenix the usual 106. We know Boise at 82, 79 in Seattle, 96 in Medford, Reno at 86, 101 in Las Vegas, 66 in San Francisco, 78 in Los Angeles. And that's basically it from there for the weather today. And with that, it is currently 6:16 right now. And with that being said, we'll get a little break, just see what we have in store for all of us. It's going to be really interesting to see what we have in store, because we know we wrap up once we get to the 6:30. We'll wrap up with the 12 new summer books to add to your 2023 reading list. And that will be coming up. And tomorrow's show will be really interesting to see what happens. But we will let you know in advance. And right now, currently 6:17 right now, as we will go ahead and take one more commercial break, and we'll go ahead and step away for the time being, as we will wrap up with the 12 new summer books to add to your 2023 reading list if you are currently a reader who reads books right now in the summertime. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and step away for the time being, and we'll have that wrap up with. In this one, we're going to do that right after this, so don't go anywhere. And right now, it's 6:24 right now, 6 minutes before to get to 6:30. And we welcome you back once again for DMS 3000 News Live, episode 12 for Thursday, June 29th, 2023. And once again, I am Brandon Martin. As this time, we'll go ahead and wrap up right now with the... Oh, man, excuse me. My goodness. But all that aside, really. We'll go ahead and look at the 12 new summer books. What the... Oh, David.
Hello, Brendan. So, I saw you got up earlier this time, huh?
Yes, finally. I'm like, my goodness. And thankfully, Jason, my gosh, Jason wasn't the only one. I was part of it too, thank goodness.
Well, I just wanted to say that, how about that perfect game last night? Oakland, Yankees, and DeMarco, perfect. Yep. 27 down, 27 up, 27 down. Haven't talked about that yet?
Actually, I did, yes. I was like, yeah, and I talked about the many others that had perfect games, so.
Yes, and it happened in Oakland, which everything goes wrong for A's fans this year, unfortunately for them, but however, it's history. You know, it hasn't happened since 2012, which is honestly pretty crazy. And honestly, for the past few days or a few weeks, I haven't gone to sleep until I check the scores because I don't want to miss a no-hitter. But I didn't expect a perfect game, and honestly, I thought about going to sleep early last night, but good thing I didn't because I'm gonna miss history, and it's crazy on how the perfect game went versus Oakland. It's honestly pretty crazy. Hasn't been a no-hitter this year. Got our first one. That is the perfect game. It's pretty crazy.
It is. My gosh.
Yep. And I just wanted to promote, don't forget to check out the Doug Crew earlier today, which hopefully I will join for a little bit, but I'll be out cookout, so we'll see how it goes here this afternoon. But other than that, just want to say have a good rest of the show.
Well, thank you, David. Appreciate that. And yes, and that was our CEO and boss of the David 3000 Network, David St. Dennis, who popped in for a bit. Just talked about the perfect game, as mentioned, I already talked about earlier in the show. And yeah, as mentioned, since 2012, though, that is amazing, I gotta say. 11 years. That was the last time where Felix Hernandez had a perfect game. It was against the Rays. I mean, amazing. That is amazing for that. All right. Now, as mentioned before, we get to the 12 new summer books to add to your 2023 reading list to wrap up this episode of the DMS 3000 News Live. Again, episode 12, June 29th, 2023. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. We look at this first book to read for your summer book to add into your reading list is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Harriet and Wynn's friend group has vacationed at the same main house for a decade. So when it goes up for sale, they're determined to soak up one last week of fun. There's just one problem. Harriet and Wynn haven't told their crew they're no longer engaged. So they're stuck sharing a room to keep up the ruse. But is it all really just for show, or are sparks flying? But you can get that off Amazon for, I'm going to make sure to check that, $15, now 43% off. Our next summer book for 2023 to add into your reading list is Saturday Night at the Lakeside Supper Club by J. Ryan Stradall. Currently $20 at Amazon, now 20% off. Grab yourself a cold one from the garage fridge while you get to know the lovably flawed characters surrounding the Lakeside Supper Club. A quintessentially Midwestern restaurant that has been both the albatross and salvation of the proprietress Mariel's family for generations. When a devastating tragedy strikes, Mariel and her husband Ned help himself a restaurant here of a different kind. They've got tough choices to make, and you'll feel their struggle like it's your own. We look at this next book, The Guest by Emma Cline. $19 at Amazon, now 34% off. That was last month's release date. Head to the Hamptons, if only in your mind, with this expertly painted observation on power and access. The beautiful and manipulative Alex has charmed her way into her older and richer boyfriend's life in the elite enclave. But when he unceremoniously dumps her a week before his big Labor Day bash, she's determined to somehow hide out on Long Island until confront him at the end of Summer Blowout. Come for the real estate envy, stay for the drama. Yeah. Not going to get into all the details, but you know. The fourth best summer book for 2023, Quietly Hostile Essays by Samantha Irby. Pro tip: don't even try to drink anything while working your way through this gut-busting essay collection by a TV writer and essayist who gets real about everything from her QVC habit to her maladjusted pandemic puppy. Life can get messy, and Irby is all for getting down and dirty about it, and in that we all win. And that is $13 at Amazon, now 24% off for the May 2023 release date. This fifth book, Late Bloomers by Deepa Varadarajan, as mentioned, $14 at Amazon, now 20% off. Recently divorced Suresh and Lata are trying to find love again after a 36-year marriage. Suresh keeps striking out on the apps, while Lata relishes her independence until a handsome academic comes calling. Meanwhile, their children have their own romantic struggles that they'd rather keep hidden from their parents, but the truth will out and when it does, a hilarious comedy of errors ensues. The God of Good Looks by Brianne McIvor. Now 60% off, $25 at Amazon if you get the book. We're already in this first half of the best summer books of 2023. Former model Bianca Bridge has always wanted to be a writer. So when the notoriously tyrannical Obadiah Cortland hires her to run his makeup magazine, she jumps at the chance, but when a powerful ex-lover threatens everything she made of herself, she finds support where she least expects it. And this month's release date, we're in the second half of it, of the best summer books. Girls and Their Horses by Eliza Jane Brazier. Now 10% off, $24 at Amazon. Calling All Former Horse Girls. This is the thriller you've been waiting for. Heather Parker signs her daughters up for show jumping lessons at the Tony Rancho Santa Fe Escutcheon when a borderline abusive head trainer and his broodingly handsome star rider rule over a cast of equally teens and their hovering barn moms, I meant to say moms, but you know what I meant. But there's something darker going on than perfecting their form, and pretty soon the Parkers find themselves involved in a lot more than competitions. And we look at another book, that summer book for 2023 for this month. Save What's Left by Elizabeth Castellano. Now 10% off, $23 on Amazon. This beach read will make sure you never want to buy a beach house. When Kathleen Deanne's husband, Tom, decides to leave their 30-year marriage and safe but drab Kansas life to find himself, Kathleen does him one better and buys a little beachfront cottage. It would be an artsy seaside community, but when she gets there, she discovers a monstrosity of a McMansion going up next door and goes on the offensive against its many code violations and eyesores. When her busybody neighbor Rosemary in this hilarious farce, we realize that paradise really is anything but when you actually live there. We go into this ninth best summer books. The only one left by Riley Sager. Now 34% off, $18 on Amazon. If parents want their kids to stay away from steep cliffs, just hand them this summer's Sager blockbuster. It's 1983, and in-home caregiver Kit gets assigned to care for the notorious Lenora Hope, who massacred her entire family one bloody night in 1929. As the lore goes, but they were never able to prove it. So Lenora has been cloistered in her cliffside mansion ever since. Rendered mute by a series of strokes, she can only communicate to Kit by painstakingly typing on a typewriter. But when Lenora starts to trust Kit enough to tell her what really happened that night, things take a dark turn toward one of Sager's signature gas-inducing twist. And we look at next month's 2023 release date. Excavations by Kate Myers, $28 at Amazon. And that was 18 if I did forget to mention it, now 34% off. Elise, Kara, Z, and Patty are 4 women all working on the same remote archaeological dig site in Greece. But that's about all they have in common. Kara's a put-together conservator about to call off her wedding, while Patty would do about everything to find love. Z ends up on the dig after getting dumped and fired, and Elise, the Beck's excavator on site, has got no more rhymes with ducks left to give. So when they uncover something at the site that could change history forever, they've got to decide whether they can put their differences aside to make a real difference. And we got the second best summer books 2023. Same thing with next month. Release date: Goodbye Earl, a revenge novel by Lisa Cross Smith. You don't have to know the Chick song of the same name to love this deliciously devilish tale. It follows best friends Rosemary, Ada, Caroline, and Casey from the Halcyon high school days of ruling their idyllic small town of Goldie to a wedding weekend over a decade later, when they all reunite to find little has changed and everything has. This novel is as sweet as Southern tea, and you might find it carries poison just as well. That'll be $29 at Amazon. And we finally wrap up the last of the best summer books in 2023. Again, next month. The Crow Valley Karaoke Championships by Allie Bryant. $28 at Amazon. The residents of Crow Valley take karaoke so seriously that even an escaped murderer on the loose can't derail the championship competition. And no one loved it more than the late Dale, prison guard, firefighter, and wizard at the mic. A year after his death, 5 residents get caught up in more drama than flub lyrics and wardrobe malfunctions in a madcap romp that will have you laughing all the way to the last page. And that will do for the 12 best summer books for 2023 to add to your 2023 reading list. And with that, that will do it for DMS 3000 News Live. And coming up in about 16 minutes, we will have Snowman in the morning with Cole Johnson. And we'll have the Brian Snow Show. And we know, as mentioned by David, the Dugout Crew podcast will be coming up on the David 3000 Network, and many more programming that will be coming. Excuse me. And don't forget, on my channel, we have another episode of the Rant Ray podcast. This is episode 194. As we are about 6 more weeks away till we get to 200 episodes. Man, I'm looking forward to that, folks. I really am. To see what we have in store. Because I know from that we're going over the results for AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door. That was taking place last Sunday. And we will probably do predictions for WWE Money in the Bank 2023. That will be taking place this coming Saturday afternoon. And the U.S. time zone, but over there will be the night in the British time zone in jolly old London, England. That will be taking place for Money in the Bank. And plus, I will be doing a live reaction to that on Saturday afternoon. Looking forward to that. And yeah. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow to wrap up the week of DMS 3000 News Live. And with that being said, you guys have yourselves a great morning. And I will see you all back here again tomorrow morning. Thank you, everybody, and bye-bye for now.
Don't forget to subscribe to the David Dyson Network for great more content like this one.